Sensationally silver, because you are.
Welcome, everyone, to Sensationally Silver, A State of Mind, conversations with extraordinary, ordinary persons of age, people who are going to bring you information, inspiration, and validation. Join us. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Sensationally Silver, A State of Mind, conversations with extraordinary, ordinary persons of age. My guest today is Beth Amine. She's been my guest before, and it was so fun because Beth is so vital. She is so full of life. I found myself just getting real full of life too. So, welcome, Beth.
Thank you so much, Robin. I'm so happy to be back having another conversation with you about all the fun things there are to communicate with and talk about. So glad to be here.
Well, let's talk about some of those things. First, of course, Beth, I'm going to have you tell us again how old you are.
I'm 78 and a half.
78 and a half.
I add the half because I'm kind of having the countdown till 80, even though that's very tricky because you can't be defined by your age and you can't succumb to all the images of what that's supposed to mean. But I don't know. Somehow I'm going like, yeah, and a half.
Yeah, I get it. I've been bragging about being 80 ever since I turned. I can't stop working it into every single conversation. It's my get out of jail card. It's
Yeah.
my I don't have to. It's I get to. It's just the best. It's like
Yes.
having a library card for life, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And
Yeah.
look at you at 80.
Well,
It's
80's
so cool.
good. 80's really good. And it doesn't mean what it used to mean.
No.
So, whatever it does mean, I guess is up to us, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
that's what you get to tell us about today.
I just called it dancing with time because it includes that approach to life where you are staying fully alive, fully vital until it's time we're all going to check out at some point. And so you're rather than fighting time or resisting time, you're in that more eternal space of the flow of life. So that's why I call it dancing with time. So
All
you
right.
got
So,
it. You had the
Beth,
gist.
tell us how we do that. Tell us how you help us to dance with time instead of being afraid of it.
Oh, well, thank you, Robin. I'll just preface the whole thing a little bit. I have been, self-employed, full-on multimedia artist for since the early 70s, so over 50 many years. And there's been many incarnations in my career. I've been an author, a visual artist, a dancer, a performer. I'm still performing in my own show at the Wildcat Lounge. But all through my career as an artist, it's always been about community. I've always included community. In other words, when I started to dance, I started teaching dance. And as I made art all the time, I included formats for other people to access their inner life through art and through journaling and writing in my courses because I got so much benefit from art processes in terms of how it connects me with my internal life, which is the relationship. That relationship is primary. That connection with all there is connection to your own internal world. So in this particular evolution of my community-oriented art formats, Dancing with Time evolved through everything that I've done in the past. And so it's now at dancingwithtime.com. And what it is it's a collective of programs and products to help you get into the state. So your original question is, what is Dancing with Time, right? Okay, so for one thing, it's a belief in your internal value that just by being alive, you are connected to the stars, the earth, the moon, everybody, everything that is. You are innately valuable, and therefore you can create your own life. You don't have to really go like, oh, I have to do it a certain way.
We're talking about how we have to embrace ourselves. That's where everything starts.
Yes.
That connection where we are so valuable. And I personally think that gets easier with age. If we just do a little bit of adjusting in our own attitude
Yes.
and we step away from, I'm older and therefore I'm going downhill, to I'm older, I'm wiser. That wonderful thing was it Loving Care used to say, you're not getting older, you're getting better.
Uh-huh.
So true on so many levels.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I believe that as you can really switch the massive societal pressure of it's gonna go down. And so a lot of it is focusing on okay, if we start with the premise that we are innately valuable and our value grows as we dance with life, then you're going to we want to look more and more at what pleases us and what lights us up and what makes us happy. And truly, if we are creative if our thoughts create our life, then we want to make sure that we're thinking the best possible thoughts. So becomes more fun. And I've lately really embraced this concept is when I'm trying to deal with my own mind that sometimes can go astray and think things I don't really want to think about myself or my future and all. I'm looking at it's kind of an innate part of life to have these little things that are maybe not the most positive show up, like oh, I don't look the way I used to, or I don't, anything that isn't particularly a distinct happiness or upward feeling is that there's nothing, they're there to provide us directionally. They aren't there to be the truth at all. They're to go like, oh, wait a minute, that doesn't feel that great. I'm going to create. It's only there to show me what I really do want and how I really do want to feel.
So in my former business as a
Yeah.
therapist, one of the things we talked about was reframing. And I'm thinking about as you're speaking, Beth,
Mhm.
how a dancer continues to practice and get better as the years go by. It's not like you're the best when you're very, very young. You get better and better and better the more you practice. It's a discipline.
Mhm.
And the thinking thing is a discipline too.
Yes.
I personally believe that it's not as possible to get rid of a negative thought as it is to substitute a positive thought. So if we find ourselves thinking something negative, okay, what's the positive, wonderful, supportive thing that I could say instead of that and put that in there? So if I'm saying, oh my God, I'm so tired and I'm so lazy, instead I can say, I've learned how to rest. I know how to rest and recharge. It's that simple. Reframing, right?
Yes, it's that simple. But as you said, it's a discipline. You have to be on your job. It's not like it all, but what else is there what else is there that keep us alive than expanding our consciousness into, I don't know, I mean, into like the eternal. That's why it's dancing with time. By the eternal, I mean the flow of life, not our little things that create time like, oh, blah, this is going to happen. Oh, I feel this way, or this is awful, or that's outside of me is awful, or something. It's not that. And so they absolutely, yes, it's directional. And we can go like, oh, I can even, I mean, if I'm really, really in an aware state, I can go like, oh, thank you, negative thought, because you're really showing me what I want, who I want to be, and asking me to be creative about it. And I don't, as much as I've worked on these habits, I don't have control of my mind, all the time. But what I could do is I actually can stop and go, wait a minute, I don't want to think that, rather than it be taken over by that. And I have been thinking how much habits are crucial. I don't know. Sometimes I look at myself and I look at or people in my courses and go like, wow, all our habits, our habitual approaches are so crucial. Like, oh, I need to move. You have to move. You have to move. Movement creates life. And also, I have to, be careful, take some consideration of what I eat as well as what I think. So these are all what you're talking about, the habits.
Well, I know that many people I encounter have over time developed a habit of worry.
Mhm.
And if one thing gets solved, they'll just take that habit of worry and pin it on something else. It can be anything. It can be out in the world. It can be the weather. It can be, I need a new couch. I mean, it can be anything. But that habit of worry is so potent in
Yeah.
structuring the way we go through life. So that's a very definite habit that needs to be replaced with a kind of faith, a kind of optimism that, it's kind of like money. I remember a doctor saying to me once, he was talking about money and how people worry about it. And he said, at the end, most of us even have a little more than we needed. And I've
Oh,
never forgotten that. We end up with more than we need. We can give it away at the end. Oh my gosh. And all that time we were thinking, is it enough? It is enough. It had become more than enough. So to
oh,
just substitute that way of thinking, I probably got more than enough to last me and to give it away. Just reframing again what you're saying, and I loved what you said, Beth, about the negative thought reminding you of who you want to be and what you want your life to be. That's reframing right there. Oh, thanks for the reminder.
thanks for the reminder. I love what the doctor said. That's so powerful
Yeah,
because we all go into lack. It's lackful thinking. And um, the worry is using your creativity to, we create our lives. It's using your creativity to create a possibility that you don't want. And so that's what negative stuff does. It's all about guiding you to what you don't want. So and I don't know why some of us have the predisposition to want to feel good. But I think that if you could choose any way you want to go. I have a definite predisposition to liking feeling good. I love life. I enjoy it. I want it to be fun. And so I don't like it when I create, less than expansive, delightful things. And I want to also honor. I mean, my God, I'm in a body and I'm looking out at all these trees that again, I think I did that the last podcast. My trees are all glistening with light and moving and dancing. And I'm going, I want to honor this. This is unbelievable gift of a gift that I get to hang out and talk to people like you and evolve and experience food and people and all this stuff. So
the pleasures of life, and there
yeah.
are a lot of them. One of the habits I try to cultivate, and boy, when I miss this and I do the opposite, it's like a clang goes off in my head. Don't do that. I try never to state anything I don't want to have be true.
Yes.
So I don't go around saying things like, I can't afford this or I don't have
Yes.
enough money. I never say that. I say, this is something I'm looking forward to having in my life.
So
It's just
good.
different. Yeah. Instead of, because words have power and what we say creates our reality.
Yeah.
We need to be careful with what we're saying because moment by moment, we're creating our reality. We're creating how we experience being alive. And, Beth, with your dancing, I mean, when I think about you, see, not everybody who's watching or listening knows what the Wildcat is, but the Wildcat is a very descriptive name of the place that Beth's going to be performing. Her troupe? Is it a troupe?
No, no. What I do, I'm closing out my 19th year of this show. So every 3 months, because I started doing variety shows in the 80s, like 40 years ago, but this one really formulated, and I'm crazy about it. I take all this talent that's local and all over town, and I put together these talent variety shows. So I have 22 different acts, and I do it every 3 months. I'm going to have, in January will be my 20th year. And yes, the Wildcat Lounge is the craziest nightclub in Santa Barbara. However, we have like what I call the geezer hour. We do it from 7:30 to 9:30 before all the kids start coming in at 10 and 11. But it's voted the best dance nightclub. So I have this incredible fast-paced show of talent with audiences that are really passionate and there's huge exchange of energy. And I have Latin, I have ballroom, I have belly dancing, I have pole dancers, all my pole dancer friends having a pole dance fashion show. I have rap, I have I've got Latin, I've got belly dancing, I've got singers, I've got every kind of local fabulous talent possible. And I'm gonna just perform a belly dance at the end, kind of to close the show this time. So I love and I MC the show. So the MCing is kind of my favorite part and putting together all this talent because and it's not a stage, like I don't want to be up on stage at a big theater like Lobero. It's kind of street. It's my thing. I like the interaction. Like performers are right in the audience's faces. So, it's a huge exchange of excitement and passion. And it's something that I would do, I want to keep doing until, I can't put on a crazy outfit.
We can always put on a crazy outfit.
Always put on a crazy outfit. It's all part of pushing myself. Like if I didn't, you really have to also, I think, um, kind of, it's not really pushing yourself, but it's extending into the unknown a bit. You got to be a little bit of that. You can't always be in your comfort zone. Because I know if I didn't set up things like this for me to do, I'd throw in the towel. I wouldn't be rehearsing a show and, I'm creating a Day of the Dead outfit that's really elaborate with a big veil and all these flowers everywhere and as the MC, that's my MC outfit. And I wouldn't be pushing myself if I didn't keep doing these formats. And I think you have to get a little bit out of the comfort zone to dance with life. What do you think, Robin?
Well, I'm thinking about a woman I know. Now, this happened many years ago, but it was so telling. She had been pretty much a very good girl all her life.
Yeah.
And Halloween was coming up. And the costume she chose was to be a really bad girl. She had the leather jacket and the hair and everything. And it was so fun for her. It was like this alter ego that she had never let out. And I think that's part of what you're saying, Beth, that's in us somewhere. We can do that too.
Yeah.
We've just gotten over here over and over and over every single day, but we can play that other part. And it can be so enriching, so enlivening to open to that dimension of who we are.
Yes, absolutely. And whatever that is, it's got to be different for everybody. I mean, not everyone's going to go is has a natural instinct to do what I do or perform. But if everybody has something that will make them shine, it's an act of bravery, really, because we are so told to hold in, don't show too much of who you are, you want to like hold it on in. But I mean, you could even go, I have a girlfriend who's rather shy, and she's in my latest Two Am I Now workshop where we are creating fresh identities all the time. And she is going to volunteer at Paseo Nuevo, that's our big mall in Santa Barbara, tomorrow on Saturday to give candy out to the local kids. And so she's going to put an outfit on, and that for her is kind of since she's got a big gown, is kind of a leap out. But that's something where she can show up and kind of be safe and make a lot of people happy. But it's a little bit, she wouldn't necessarily do that. And so I think it's important to pick a little something, be a little bold, right?
So if this is something that you're hearing and you're thinking, I don't even know how to do that,
Yeah.
or I don't do it enough.
Yeah.
Beth, let our viewers and our listeners know how you show them that now, because the magic of Zoom, everybody can be everywhere. And you're doing workshops now, you're teaching this opening to life.
Yes.
So talk about that. Tell us about it.
Well, there's a lot of methodologies that go into one mandala of how I approach that. And one of them, there are these self-discovery workshops that I give. I have four of them and they kind of proceed with different art formats. This one called Who Am I Now is one where there's a lot of thoughtful inquiries, and it's a progression of thoughtful inquiries. So this is more kind of a journaling, and then you can have that online and do it in your own time, or I do have a live course. But we start with the supposition that you are valuable. We spoke about that a while ago. And I start with asking everyone to say, tell me 10, 20 things you love about yourself. And then tell me 20 things that light you up and which ones do you want more of? So we start with this basis of, oh, I love this about myself. And I love this about myself. And I hadn't thought about that. And it's easier than you think to do that. And so you start going like, oh yeah. And you start living in that space of your own yumminess, or or whatever you want to call it. We just start out with that simple exercise. Then our first of the 8 sessions is value, because you have to get the idea that you are a creator and that you are innately valuable just by being alive. And yes, I can have what I want. Yes, yes, yes. I don't have to limit it. Yes. And so we look at inquiries into that, and with every segment, I have a dance, a very simple dance that goes with it, where you're going to release. I feel it's very important to release in your body in order to feel your full power. And, it's just simple movement. And I work with people who are paralyzed from the waist down, and they can move just their upper body, or people who are injured. It doesn't matter. However, you're breathing and opening and tuning the music, it's a liberation. So that you're going to liberate, you can liberate through thoughtful inquiries and writing, and liberate through your body. However, and you don't have to do it in front of people, but you have to breathe, you have to open, you have to move somehow and have fun with that. And then I also have a meditation segment that a dear friend of mine, Patty Teal, does, and she's brilliant at it, where we actually do some guided visualizations and see ourselves as, however, the wonder of whatever the topic is. The first one with value is I am, like I am unlimited. And then we move into other things. I won't give the whole thing because it's too much, but then we start moving into dream. Like, how would you dream with no qualifications in these different areas of your life? And how would you rewrite it? And who do you want to be? Who am I now? That's the name of the course. So I think through, the desire to feel life fully, it's not that hard. You just have to have a little bit of structure and dive in, and it's worth it. You feel so alive. And you can find out at dancingwithtime.com.
So what you're doing, Beth, besides offering information,
Yeah.
is you're modeling
Yes.
how people can do this. Because
Yes.
as we get older, we tend to kind of stiffen up, and I haven't thought of it particularly in this way, but as you've been talking, I've been thinking about how we become prisoners of the past. This is who I was, so it must be still what defines me. Even if I don't like it anymore, I can't do it anymore, I'm not interested in it anymore. And you're saying, no, who am I now? What do I want right now?
Yeah.
And the liberation of that, and that word yumminess, the yumminess of being who we are, that is the cutest thing I've heard in a long time. Just making it be delicious to be who we are at this present time. Because let's face it, as we get older, we have so much less to lose. What's the risk?
Yeah.
It's
Like you
not like we're going
said,
to be living with embarrassment for the next 50 years. We're not. And
no.
what's to be embarrassed about anyway? That's one of the things about being 80 that I've learned. There's just such freedom. So, and the other thing I want to say
Yeah.
is when I go out to lunch or I go out to dinner and I'm near people who are older, and I got to admit, I do it too, with friends my age, we start talking about what's wrong with us,
Oh.
what's not working very well, medications, doctors. Oh my gosh, how boring.
Mhm.
So here, everybody, Beth is saying, you don't have to do that. You can talk about how wonderful things are,
Yeah.
what you want, what you dream of being, how to make those dreams come true. And because she's who she is and she has the kind of energy she has, she can lead you along that path. some of us couldn't do that on our own. We just do
Yeah.
get imprisoned by time and kind of frozen up. And not only have a habit of worry, but maybe a habit of fear of embarrassment. But
Yes.
that's
And
hardly
now,
the
like you
point as we get
said,
older. Yeah,
exactly. You said we have a get out of jail card. Didn't you say like a free
right.
pass? I
Yeah,
mean, if not now, when? And by the way, I don't allow those conversations. If someone's going to start talking about, I don't take any medication at all of any kind, which I don't know, whatever. I was able to do that, but I'm not saying putting that down, but I do not allow those conversations. If you're going to talk about what's broken and owie and all that, I don't allow it. That's why, and I hang out with a lot of younger people and too, and so I got to watch myself that I don't go like, well, wait a minute, my knees, I can't really get and do that with you. I have to watch it myself. And the past, you are so perceptive.
well, I get excited about what you're saying, Beth, because we've all probably heard that phrase, it's not the years in your life, it's the life in your
Life in
years.
your years, yeah,
And that life it's a choice.
yeah,
I don't care how restricted somebody is physically. People with the same kinds of restrictions have very different attitudes toward life, toward
yeah,
experience. They either embrace it and make the very most of everything, or they are imprisoned by it.
yeah.
It's a
It's
choice.
it's
It's a choice.
very true. And the past. The past is gone. It doesn't exist. We are in my course, most everyone's in their 70s. We have someone in their 60s in this live. Who am I now, right now? And it still comes up like, oh, my mother said this to me and it limited me in this way. And, you know, we're really looking at not at those are just phantom energetics that have stayed with us. They have no basis in reality anymore, but they're little brain programs that have run our entire lives. And do we want to still be trapped by that? I mean, you can be trapped all the time. I think you have to just go like it's gone. It doesn't exist. Only the now moment and what I want to create for my future exists. And that's a big leap. And we look at that stuff like, wow, my mom said this to me and it's affected me my whole life. It's restricted me. So we go like, okay, got it. We're not going to go too deep in that and keep it alive, but we're going to go, okay, that's going to show us what we really want. Like if she said you're not gorgeous or, you don't look good enough, then we're going to focus on how you can perceive your own beauty now and the fun things you can do to create beauty now. Like maybe, you're going to have your nails done or you're going to get facials or you're going to have a different perception of you're alive. So you got to, just forget about the past. It doesn't exist. I'm not going to I mean, it does, but it's in one of those habits that we have to go like, oh, these relationships that I've had in the past have made me feel like I can't love again or whatever. No, So, again, I'm all about, I mean, people love their memories, but I'm all about like, okay, what can I do next? Who am I
Well,
now?
for people who aren't watching and aren't going to get to see the visual things that show them where to go, tell people how to find you online, whatever you're offering, how they can find that if they're just listening.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, you can go to www.dancingwithtime, dancingwithtime.com, dancingwithtime.com. And there's a place where you can give me your email and you get a beautiful graphic, a five point document on how you can expand your joy right now. And then I'll be able to contact you through your email, and I'll give you mine back and we can see where you might really benefit from. I have 3 tiers on a membership site where you can get movement classes and wisdom and a simple course on joy. Or you can work with me any number of variety of ways by going there. And you can contact me personally if you like at Beth Amine Beth at bethamine.com if you want to email me. And I would love to hear from you, and I'd love to meet any of your needs, and just let's play, let's party all together. Let's show the world how wonderful it is to move through time in a gracious and fun way. And we'll create a new model for everyone.
So that means that we get to enjoy this gift that we are at the very same time
Yeah.
giving the rest of the world,
Yes.
modeling for others.
Yeah.
Maybe they're not our age yet, but if they're very lucky, they'll get there. And here's how to do it. Here's how to
Yes.
do it with fun and with energy and with joy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And all together in community, however we do it, if it's online community or we are doing this together. It's all about, and I would love to see our elders create a revolution of having fun, shifting their paradigm. Like, yeah, okay, we got this going on, but we're going to have fun.
It's like a play date for those of us who are persons of age.
Yes.
All are invited. So, Beth, thank you so much for bringing your energy and your joy to this podcast. Thank you to all of you who have joined us today. And find Beth and let her invite you to the party. Okay. Bye for now.
Bye for now. Thank you so much. I appreciate you so deeply.
Sensationally Silver, A State of Mind, is sponsored by Sensationally Silver, a complete hair care product line created especially for people with hair like ours, naturally gray and white hair. Sensationally Silver products can be found exclusively at sensationallysilver.com.
Sensationally silver, because you are.